Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hello, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here with me today. It's my honor, my privilege, my pleasure to be here with you on this fine day. It is a Friday. It is, we're getting up there. Summer's still going, but it's going by so quick. I don't know if you folks feel that way, but summer's going so quick. Let's see. Let me fix something. Give me just uno momento. Uno momento. Okay. We go here. We go to there. Let's go ahead and go to there. And let's bring this there. Folks, this is part of the quick market update series on my YouTube channel, Cheds Trading. Thanks for your patience. I'm Cheds Trading. I'm Big Cheds. You know me from Twitter. I'm posting there all the time. And I'm also on Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. I've been doing that for 7 years. What I really want to start to talk about, and I'm going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all the altcoins. I want your questions. We got a great chat room already. But folks, go to my YouTube. Go to this brand new playlist, the Trading Encyclopedia. I'm creating this for you when you want to learn a topic, a subject. What's a throwback? How do I confirm a trend? New videos every day. I'm going to have hundreds of videos in here, hundreds of topics from trading and technical analysis, kind of your one-stop shop. So check this out. It's a brand new concept from me. I'm really proud of it. I just had a video out today kind of talking about what's a volume cluster, because I put out a tweet. It gives me an opportunity to explain my tweets. I put out a tweet here, volume cluster, big volume cluster forming. And I woke up and I saw that. I said, wow, that's notable. That's interesting. So we're going to have a chance to discuss this stuff today. We're going to have a chance to go over that. But that's on the, this is for you if you're a student, you want to learn TA. I've studied TA professionally. I did CMT. I've read the textbooks. I've read them so you don't have to. I'm trying to take the professional TA, and make it a little bit easier for you to digest. You might also not know, I just put out an interview with Follis, who's a really great content creator. That's in my long form interview series. I just finished that, right? That's out just a week and a half ago. I have other interviews coming. So I'm kind of revitalizing that playlist. Beyond that, I've published 4 books. Trading Wisdom, Trading Journal especially is the new book. It's on Amazon. Reviews are in. People love it. And you can get free versions of all my books on my YouTube channel. Trading Journal, I'm going to have the whole thing in the encyclopedia, like broken down piece by piece. So just check out my YouTube while you're here. But while you're here, thank you. Thank you for being here for this stream. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Drop a comment in the chat. I'll do my best to read it. It's just me. So I might miss a message. So if I do, I apologize. Carlos says, Chad, your educational videos are the best. Thanks for sharing for free all your wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. As you folks know, the only way to master a subject, or maybe not the only way, but I think probably the most common way, is to teach it. You need to be good enough to teach things. And for this Trading Encyclopedia playlist, I have to really brush up on a lot of stuff that I once learned and maybe I'm not sure about. So it's going to help me to grow quite a bit. Look at Maker with some relative strength. I was just kind of noticing here, Maker breaking out. All right, so we'll get right into it, though. I'm kind of excited to talk about Bitcoin. Let's go weekly first, and then we'll touch base. We'll talk about that tweet I put out, and we'll kind of go from there. So the weekly time frame, we're looking at Bitcoin looks incredibly strong with the advance out of the consolidation range. Here's the bull flag. High and tight, meaning consolidating in the top third of the move. I have a video on what high and tight means. And, we knew we were going to consolidate after the inside bar, a series of doji and sideways, holding EMA 8, and then a break, right? So we recently had the break from the weekly consolidation range, and here's our new advance on this, essentially a Marubozu. What's a Marubozu? It's a full real candle body, no upper or lower shadow. It reminds me I should make a note to do a video on what Marubozu is. This is what's happening. I'm going throughout my daily life. I'm just doing things, and then I remember, oh, wait a minute, what about this? What about that? I have a huge list, Marubozu, of videos I want to make. And so there you go, because when I put out a tweet, and you may wonder, what is this guy talking about, right? You probably didn't read the same textbooks or go through my training, so I want to have this stuff ready for you. So near Marubozu, and then the spinning top, and just from a candle body momentum perspective, strong advance and then pausing. So we know we're in another consolidating period, likely to continue bullishly, right? You want to give edge to the trend until proven otherwise, right? So that's the weekly picture. Price above the EMA 8, price above the prior range peak. Looks really, really strong. On the daily chart, a lot of people have been marking out rather clearly the local range low. What does local mean? We'll look at it this way. So local means most recent, right? So local support, that's another phrase. What does local mean? I'll make a video on that. What does local mean? I really want to have like a video for everything, right? So a lot of people have observed the local range support right around 116K and essentially a gap in price in between 116K and the prior range peak right around 110 to 112K. So we're kind of watching. It's a pretty straightforward game plan. You're pretty much watching to see if the price, if you're trading it, right? If you're trading these minor moves. Great questions. We'll get to them in a second. We're watching to see does it hold local range lows. If that fails, right, we're kind of looking at the prior range. Since there was no pausing along the way to consolidate such that it would have provided structure, right? Lower time frame. If you did like a bull flag here in continuation, you would have had support, right? So what's interesting to kind of wrap it all up together was this big 4H volume cluster forming, right? So what does that mean? Why does that matter? Well, volume cluster, right? You often see, and for the 4 hour, it's really good if you're looking for trading pivots, and it's worked really well for Bitcoin kind of along the way up. But the whole idea is the most volume comes to the top and the bottom of a chart. And the reason for that is when the price is trending, you've already got an imbalance. And, you don't need volume to continue with the trend because you have an imbalance in supply and demand, right? You have more buyers than sellers or more sellers than buyers. And then when a trend meets some type of a counter trend force, right? Bulls try to come in and reject lower prices that kind of challenge the force. Do I believe that turtle trading would work today? I don't know what turtle trading is. You can ask me that again. Sorry. So when the counter trend force meets resistance, then you get volume, right? Tops and bottoms. And you see clusters of volumes form because bottoms are slow to form. It's usually not one candle. It's usually a process. So what's notable is in the 4 hour, we're getting volume at daily range lows, right? So it's the idea of whatever time frame you're in, understanding what the next level up, time frame up is doing, right? So when we drop in, we see, okay, 4H volume cluster. This is notable. I mean, this is like a lot of volume, and it's a lot of volume right after a breakdown and essentially a sweep and a recapture of these lows here right around 115.5, 116K. So big volume cluster here, in my view, makes it likely we're going to get a little bounce into this underside or maybe even here. This is a pivot, right? We get a sharp drop, overreaction dip, big old red 4H candle, lower Bollinger breach, and recovery, right? Big red candle, small body, morning star or morning doji star. Either are fine, given the small body here, doji or spinning top, call it whatever you want. Doesn't quite matter. But you have volume forming at a higher time frame support level, which is essentially these range lows here, right? So that's the context and the importance of the 4H volume cluster. I literally did a video on this subject here, volume cluster explained for the Trading Encyclopedia series. So we're kind of watching now. Does the price rally here? I still think it's likely it does rally and bounces a little bit, even if only to like 117.5. And that's within the context of a daily consolidation in the context of the higher time frame trend, which is the weekly chart, incredibly strong, above the EMA 8, above all the prior range highs. So that's kind of the TLDR, right? That's kind of the sense of it. And I'm a trader. I look for opportunities. I look for volume and stuff like that. I'll do quickly Ethereum, Solana, and then I'll jump into the chat room. I love the chat room. Great questions, folks. Thank you for being here, everybody. And hey, if you've already watched the Trading Encyclopedia, I'd love your feedback. I'd love to hear some of your feedback, to hear what you folks are thinking. Now, Ethereum, we have a very clear break here of 3K after the 2100 range low sweep and recapture, right? Going all the way back to, just a month or two ago. Range low sweep and recapture, tower top, drop back to the middle of this green candle, throwback 2150, pause and acceleration, local range peak break, circa 2900 3K, advance into the structure going back to March of 2024, okay? So it's essentially consolidating just below high time frame breakout level, which is fine. which is fine. Let it cool off. Let it chill out a little bit. I mean, it closed here above the upper Bollinger. Let it pause a little bit and find support, somewhere in this range, like, maybe 3K, maybe a little bit higher. So weekly time frame looks good. Trends need to pause and consolidate. You don't want to panic. There's no real change in the structure here on Ethereum. And what's interesting to me is this Ethereum versus BTC. This is the big level I want to see flip for me to think that the broader trend, nearly the secular or long-term trend of Bitcoin outperforming Ethereum is changing, right? Someone said, can you check Ethereum? I'm doing right now. So I just showed you the USDT pair. And here on BTC, what's notable is the MA50. You can see in these prior attempts against the orange line, it's MA50, simple moving average, meaning it's equally weighted. If you don't know what any of that means, SMA 50, you can just go to the playlist and you can look at like moving average basics. You can look at what are my moving averages, and it explains all this stuff for you, okay? How to draw a trend line properly, whatever you want, right? So it's, SMA 50, and so we'll see. And it's the confluence, which means the combining or the meeting up of two things, in that you have these lows and this peak lining up with the MA50, making this even a more significant level, okay? So let's take a look at the chat room. Let's see what everyone has to do. What's up, Big Stats? What's up, Flamin'? Good to see you. Frontier Pioneer, Emotionless Winner, Influence, nice to see you, brother. Psalm Capital, nice to see you, friend. And Mohammed, hey, bless you, Mohammed. So Mohammed wants me to look at ENA. I'll take a look at ENA. Do I have it here on my list? I don't, but oh, there it is. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of interesting. So we'll start here on the weekly chart, higher time frame. Now, technically, there's not much of a chart here. There's no MA200. We don't have history. You've got lows, you've got a peak, and you've got a double bottom with the price above that peak. You say, okay, now I get that. Let's zoom in. Let's drop in to a daily, maybe 4 hour. Let's just get a better perspective. And you say, okay, I see what's going on here. We have attempted recapture of an MA200. We have essentially the idea of red light, orange light. It's trying to go green light, whether you call it a two-level filter break, on descending supply trend break, or a lower high break. We have that all in play. And again, if these terms don't mean anything to you, I literally have videos on all this stuff in the Trading Encyclopedia. Essentially, it's trying to reverse out of a bottoming range. It has already done that, and we're essentially doing a throwback or a bullish retest to the peak of the structure. That's exactly what's going on here. So it's Mohammed, it's a very clear throwback to the peak of prior structure. Should it hold here, it's got a little bit of room to run. I think no real danger of it pausing until around 75 to 80 cents. So that was a good question, Mohammed. It's good to see you. This individual says, Big Ched's back. I am back, brother. Now, I do these live streams every Tuesday, Friday. I'll skip them occasionally because these are extra. These are for fun. Bitcoin Live, I never skip, but these are fun. So when I do it, you should try to show up. And for those of you who are here, thank you. For those who just joined, we talked a lot about Bitcoin in relation to the daily 116K level and the importance of volume here on the 4-hour volume cluster, and what the significance of volume is in terms of pivots, in terms of momentums, zigzagging momentum, and trading off of consolidations. Raul says, love the live sessions. Thank you, man. Hey, Raul, have you seen the Trading Encyclopedia, though? What do you think about that? DV, I understand you're not a fan of price targets, but I'm curious. Curious is good. That means you want to learn, you're interested. What's your approach to taking profits after a successful trade? Yeah, that's a great call. I actually have a video on this right now. If you want to know what my approach to taking profits is, I have not recorded that video for the Trading Encyclopedia. But if you go to Trading Wisdom, which is my second book, Lesson 9 is profit taking, DV. I have a video here I've already recorded just for you to explain my approach on profit taking, options, ways you can take profit, scaling in, scaling out, all that good stuff. So why don't you go ahead and take advantage of that? How do I feel about Bitcoin closing the gap at 112? I don't really think about gaps per se. But I do understand the idea of, and I talked about it earlier, the fact that the price advanced straight out of this structure without pausing. No bull flag, no, ascending triangle, and no structure such that it would have provided, a stair step or a throwback target. How would I feel about a retest at 110K? I'd like it. I'd be buying there. I'd be looking to structure a trade there, and it would be remarkably healthy. because of the weekly picture, the high time frame picture, you have a lot of room for minor consolidation, setting up some type of a continuation. You want to buy dips and uptrends until proven otherwise. So I don't know if you're thinking of like gap in terms of CME type of gap, but there is a price gap in the sense that, well, rather there's a consolidation gap. There is no consolidation; it just shot right up, and then such that there's no structure in between these two levels. So it's actually pretty easy to watch. Does 116K hold? If not, you can have a pretty good confidence it drops to like 111, 110K. Okay. Kunal says, how you doing? Can you look at NVO, Novo Nordisk? Sure. On the weekly time frame. Yeah, I'll look at whatever you folks want. I'm here in your time. I'm here for you. This is fun. I like to interact with you, and these live streams give me an opportunity to chat with you, to show off show you what I've been working on, which is new, the trading quotes playlist, trading encyclopedia, all that good stuff. I just forgot to mention that if you're looking for an exchange, check out BingX, which is my favorite exchange. And for my US friends, I have something new I'm going to be announcing in the next week or two. And so keep an eye out for that. So the question is about Novo Nordisk, or whatever you call it, Nordisk. So intuitively, I don't like the chart. It's a downtrend. It's priced below a falling MA200. You've got lower high structure. It's weak. This is a weak chart. I don't like it. What's your question? On the weekly time frame, okay. All right, weekly time frame, diagonal break and hold. There's no diagonal break and hold. You have a very clearly defined descending supply trend. Cheds, how come you drew the line like this? Cheds, how come you drew the line like this? Why? I'm glad you asked. I am so glad you asked because, wait for it, how to draw a trend line properly. I have a video for you. It really doesn't matter whether you use the body or the wick, right? You're drawing a trend of descending supply. It's a falling supply trend. More anxious sellers in the way down. There is no trend line break here. It's a pretty much garbage chart. Now, if momentum turns around, it's going to clear 81, 82. I would just avoid it until it can clear this high. It is a bad chart, though. Very bad chart. I don't like it. I mean, high time frame's okay, but it still looks like it has propensity to unwind and drop even lower, maybe into the 50s. This daily picture is quite bleak. Quite bleak. It's trying to do a head and shoulders, but look how weak this right shoulder is, right? You know, we've talked about double bottoms with lower low, double bottoms equal low, double bottom with higher low. You can have a head and shoulders with, equal right shoulder. You could have the right shoulder higher. Here, it's so weak. Look at this right shoulder. It's like barely right shoulder. This is weak. So the market doesn't like it. Guess what? That means I don't like it. All right? Kunal, hopefully that answers your question. All right? Thank you for looking at XAI. Sure. Dimitri says I saved his neck. Well, you saved your neck. Whatever information I provide hopefully will allow you to make a reasoned, informed decision. Any good trades you make, I want you to take credit for it. It's your trade. I'm just trying to help you out with some skills. I don't need the credit. Oh, there's a bad chart. Yeah, I probably told you this sucks. It does. This is a weak chart. I don't like it. This is a really bad downtrend. So I probably looked at it for you and said, I don't like it, right? For those of you who are joining, it's great to have you. Check out the Trading Encyclopedia, brand new playlist on my YouTube. You're going to love it. 3-minute videos to explain pretty much every topic you could ask for. We're talking about Bitcoin in relation to this 4H volume cluster. Pardon me, I did put out a video on the significance of the volume cluster. It's a short-term momentum pivot, suggesting bulls are going to push back into kind of the middle of this range. That's my quick overview. Dimitri says, given that most alts retraced before Bitcoin, do you think they'll fall? I kind of want to look at some of these altcoins with you. Do I think that they'll fall down if Bitcoin breaks? So here's the thing. I would not play altcoins because of Bitcoin, right? I'm not going to play H-bar based on what Bitcoin's doing. Unless I'm playing like the H-bar, BTC pair. You want to trade within the 4 corners of the chart in front of you, right? There's a concept of relative strength and relative weakness. Like Maker's up 8% in this daily candle, Link's down 2%. But they also both, in your theory, have to deal with what Bitcoin's doing. No. simplify your method, trade the chart in front of you, right? So, you know, couple TRX is a strong chart. Let's see what Sui's doing. Let's do a quick scroll through. All right, looking at Sui, higher low, want to see it hold 350. BNB, nice consolidation, one of the better charts. Beautiful high time frame breakout. BCH has been strong. Dino coin grinding higher. Aave, throwback to the 260 level. H-bar, want to see it hold 2122. QNT, roughly throwback to the peak of an inverted head and shoulders. Neck base around 105-ish. Talked about Maker grinding higher, some relative strength. CRV's had some relative strength too, and tried to break out of this range, and it was sent back. But generally, this still is a quite nice bullish consolidation. You call it a bull flag, bull rectangle. Volume looks clean. When you see this, you want to look at, I just did a video on this for the encyclopedia. You want to look at, for counter trend volume, you don't have any, right? So if there's big volume in these, you know, red candles, that would be a warning sign, and we don't have that. Great group of you folks. Thank you for being here so far. Would I recommend CMT for anyone to trade? Well, I would recommend CMT definitely. But it's a commitment. You have to read a big old textbook. You have to take a test. For me, I loved it because it taught me the answer. Like and I've talked about this for the longest time. I heard everyone say the rules of thumb and, oh, this means that. And I wasn't really sure who to trust. So I started reading textbook and then eventually did CMT, and that told me like what the real answer was. So, but the best thing is I take CMT and I basically just have it all for you here in my encyclopedia and my masterclass. I mean, my goal is to take professional technical analysis and to make it easier for you to digest, right? I simplify things. That's what my books are, Trading Wisdom, the Trading Journal. It's based on, you know, classical charting, candlestick theory, and I have studied professionally, and I take that CMT. I try to make it easier for you so you don't have to go through what I did, but I recommend it for sure, for sure. Roll back the video at the end. He saw ENA in the beginning. I did ENA, so check that out. Let's see what everyone else has to say. Great chat room today. Thank you for all the comments. What do I think about Tesla? Yeah, let's take a look at Tesla. Sure. Influence. Nice to see you, brother, as always. And the earnings, this and that. Tesla. I don't quite pay attention to the fundamentals. It's not my jam. Look at that. Look at this coil here. Interesting. Look at that. I mean, you don't need to draw it. You can just see it, right? So this is nearing the end of a consolidation. That's for sure. And you can see the local range lows you want to see hold. So if you're a bull, I think you should be a little bit concerned if you're like 285, 290 level doesn't hold on Tesla. But overall, this is a bullish consolidation. This is a bull pennant. It's a symmetrical triangle after an advance. Symmetrical triangles are usually continuation. So this is more likely than not will continue up from here. If it fails to hold this higher low, as a bull, I would be concerned. And that's my view on Tesla. Can you chart the altcoin market cap? You love the encyclopedia. Thanks, Dan. Sure. What is that? Total 3, excluding something or other. Let's go to, what is it? Index. I don't generally look at crypto market cap, including Bitcoin. And I generally don't waste a lot of muscle memory on charts I'm not actively trading, right? I'm not actually buying perps or spot on this total 3 chart. And my general philosophy for you is to not do this either. I don't think you should spend time looking at dominance or tethercoin, stablecoin charts and stuff like that. Save your muscle memory for what you're trading. You're trading Link, you study the Link chart. You don't care what Bitcoin's doing. You don't care what Ethereum's doing. Does Link hold 1750? Like, for example, right? So, but what do I think about this? It's an uptrend. What am I supposed to do with this, though? And I'm not going to overanalyze this. It's a generalized uptrend. It's grinding higher. It paused here. It kind of almost looks like BNB chart, even though BNB is up here a little bit. This is a bullish chart. This shows that the crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is rising. I'm not sure what you want to glean from this chart, what kind of information you're looking for. It's not that valuable, in my opinion. Okay. We talked about ENA. I talked about that. Talk about CRV, and okay, you want me to look at, hey Praneeth, how you doing, man? I'll do a couple more. Ray. Let's take a look at Ray, USD, okay? Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a good summer. Hope you're getting some sun, time by the water, all that good stuff. All right, it's kind of in between here. Now, much of the market has this double bottom type of structure with two lows are called troughs, and your peak, right? And you've got the time interval between peaks. You've got price distance, peak to trough. So you have the construction you're looking for, and you have a very clear overhead pivot. So when much of the market kind of has the same structure, what you look for is relative strength. Some stuff's down here, some stuff's here at the neck base, some stuff's up here. This one's right in the middle. It's not, neither has relative strength nor relative weakness. It's kind of on par, I'd say, with most altcoins. Now, if you were looking for extra signs to see a little bit more confidence, you want to see some volume here, some accumulation on this advance into the peak, and especially on any type of breakout. We don't have that yet. It looks like it may be needing to consolidate further. It's a sideways trend. It's probably not going anywhere. So it doesn't jump out to me much either way because it doesn't have relative strength or relative weakness, and there's really no trend because it's sideways, okay? That's my view on that. We talked about Tesla. Dan likes the encyclopedia. Thank you, a brother. We talked about Total 3. And let's see, let's see here. I've always wondered, in order to be a bear, you need to sell. You need to buy first to have something to sell later, so there's no bears. Well, it depends. Like, you have people who, like what, Capo, right? Crypto Capo. He's been calling for Black Swan. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. We've talked in the DMs a couple times, but I have trouble taking him seriously because, like, that's not, what value is that? To just say for the last like 3 months, Black Swan coming. Like, what is that? How is that actionable? What's the alpha there, right? If you're a bear, you can just be a bear because you think the price should be lower, whatever that means. You can think the market's wrong. I mean, you don't need, like, there's always bears, you know, people who wish they bought here, people who didn't buy here because they're waiting for 72K, people who didn't buy 88.5. People didn't buy here because they thought I was going to throw back to 88.5. I mean, there's just a million reasons why somebody could be a bear, right? How do we find the moving averages that you use on TradingView? Zena, I'm so glad you asked that. Go to my YouTube on Cheds Trading, click on the Trading Encyclopedia, and look for the video that says, what are my moving averages? Right here. This explains exactly what my setup is, okay? It's a 3-minute video. I made it for you, okay? It's also, these are all default settings, SMA, EMA 34. I played with the color, all right? Maybe the thickness of the lines, but I haven't changed any of the periods. Even the oscillators I use, right? The momentum indicators, the index, like the OBV, and the bounded oscillator RSI, with the oversold, overbought. These are all default. Everything I use is default. It's easy for you to learn and to use in your own style, but I recommend you kind of make it your own style. Do whatever works for you, okay? All right, so watch that playlist I made for you. Any chance you can cover algo? Sure. What's up, Nick? How you doing, brother? What's up, Nick? Yeah, look at that. So this is surprising to me. I actually made a video on this because this is a big-time accumulation. Now, the one thing I do like is that there's light volume on this sell-off here. So all the people, most of the accumulation is still there. People are holding, and we are very much looking at a throwback to the 24, 25 cents range. I actually might be looking to structure along here just because the volume gets me interested. And you very simply have the concept of a throwback, of a stair step brewing, such that, let's say this is resistance, you come down, do whatever. You form a bottom and you come up, you reject, then you come back and stair step and attempt to come higher, right? Stair stepping. I'm going to do a video on stair stepping for the encyclopedia. I don't have it yet, but it will come out. So I actually think this is quite decent. Actually a pretty decent little setup because you have a well-defined risk. I'd say if it doesn't hold, below 24 cents, you could bail. You've got volume showing accumulation, and you have what's called a throwback in classical charting. Bitcoin is interesting. We talked about the Bitcoin price on the weekly chart. We talked about the advance, the high and tight bull flag, the single bar advance, the Marubozu, and then the spinning top suggesting some consolidation. Trends tend to continue. We think the consolidation will continue for bulls, and we've been marking out the local range lows. Again, local meaning the most recent price action, and 116K, and then watching that to see if that holds. If not, we shift back to the prior range peak, right around 112K. what's notable and what I talked about in my tweet as soon as I woke up, and then I did a video on today, was this volume cluster of volume. Bull stepped in. We had an overreaction dip. And this looks like a setup for a short-term bounce, even if it's only like 117.5. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. If you want a video on that, you can just check out today's video in the Trading Encyclopedia, which is what is a volume cluster. While you're here, check out my long-form interview. I did an interview with Follis recently, who's a great content creator. I have new ones coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'll have another video then. I've got Trading Quotes, which is my third book. I'm making the whole book for free. I got to record another one of these in the next few days. I think I've done up through week 15 so far. These are quick market updates every Tuesday and Friday. If you don't catch me, if I don't get a chance to read your messages, I'll always try the next time. You can leave a comment in a video. I'll probably see it. You can get to me that way. But I'm really thankful that you folks decided to spend a little time with me here on a Friday. It's just great. You could be doing something else, but you're here with me. You're trying to learn. You want to have some fun. So my thanks to you for showing up. Just a quick reminders. You can find me on Bitcoin Live at Big Cheds. I do twice a week full market report every Wednesday, Sunday night. Really proud of our team. When you sign up, you get access to the entire team's work. I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. Check out my favorite exchange, Bing X. And I do have something new coming for my US friends who are always asking me where to trade. It's going to be coming very soon. I'll let you know about that. And I'm on YouTube at Cheds Trading. I'm having a lot of fun. I want you to binge watch this playlist, the Trading Encyclopedia. It's here for you, 3-minute videos. I've already recorded 93. They're not all out yet. It's one every day. I think there's only about 40 that have been out. I've already recorded videos through like the middle of September. So I'm having a lot of fun creating content. You will enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Leave me your feedback. But folks, thank you. Thanks for chilling here with me. Thanks for letting me explain myself. Thanks for letting me throw on this orange mask and have fun with you. Let's have some more fun. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's love life. Let's dance and listen to Church of 8 Wheels. Some guy says, guys, Bitcoin Live, you won't regret the money. Thank you. I'm really proud of Bitcoin Live. I'm just honored to be part of this team. And I haven't missed a video in 7 years, Wednesday, Sunday night. So this guy says he's getting his money back right away. So just, you don't have to, you can check it out if you don't want to. I try to make just a ton of free stuff for you. So check out my YouTube. But anyway, let's dance, let's live, let's love, let's dance. It's Church of 8 Wheels. And folks, my next live stream will be on Tuesday. So let's play Church of 8 Wheels and let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's get the volume ready, and here we go. Thank you, everybody. Be well.